Namaskaram. These are the solutions of previous homework. In this session, we will derive heat equation, which is related to heat problem. This is the statement of heat problem. Consider the heat flow by conduction in a homogeneous solid bar of constant cross section. That means this cross section is throughout same. Homogeneous means it's the same material throughout the same material. Assume that the sides of the rod are insulated. That means these lateral surfaces are insulated and only ends are exposed. These two ends are exposed. We have to find the temperature at any point on the bar at a distance x from the origin at time t. This is our source. So we treat this as our origin. We have to find the temperature on the bar at a distance x. This distance is x, distance from the origin at any time t. There are several versions of heat problem. This is the one of the basic heat problem. Okay, we will handle some other cases. In some situations, we insulate this side also. We solve this problem under some assumptions. We denote temperature by U. Then the temperature U depends on two quantities. One is distance from the source. Okay, this distance, that is x. Other is time t. So U depends two quantities. One is x and other is time t. That's why U is a function of x and t. Source is uniform. The temperature at any point in a cross section is same. That means if you consider the one cross section, then the temperature throughout this cross section is same, right? If it is 10 degree at this point, then throughout the same 10 degree. And this is another cross section. This is another cross section. So here the temperature is, suppose temperature is 5 degree. Here temperature is 5 degree. Then throughout 5 degree. That is the meaning. Okay. So temperature at any point in a cross section is same. The next assumption, the rod is made up of homogeneous material. That means throughout the same material with the uniform cross sectional area A. So this capital A stands for the area of this cross section. That area is throughout same. So the mass per unit length is constant. The next one is the sides of the bar are insulated. That is, heat energy neither enters nor leaves the rod through its sides. The next assumption is heat flow through the rod is such a way that heat flux is always perpendicular to the cross section. That means this is the one of the cross section. Then heat flux is always perpendicular to this cross section throughout this rod. Some fundamental postulates. Postulates means they are empirical formulas. That is, they are true statements obtained from so many experiments. So first one is heat flows from high to low temperature. Okay, that is from our experience. The next one is Fourier's law of conduction. States that the rate of heat flow through a solid is directly proportional to cross-sectional area A. This means if cross-section is large, then amount of heat flow is large. If cross-section is small, then amount of heat flow is small. Second one is amount of heat flow is proportional to temperature gradient. Actually, this is obtained from two observations. One is amount of heat flow is proportional to the temperature difference delta U. Okay, that is very clear if you consider two metal rods with the same length. Consider two metal rods same length, and one is 100 degree. This is 0 degree. This is 100 degree. This is 80 degree. Okay, then from our experience, it is clear that the amount of heat flow is large in first case. This is second case, because here the temperature difference is high. This is from experience. That is the meaning of this sentence. Delta Q means amount of heat flow that is proportional to temperature difference. Other observation is amount of heat flow delta Q is proportional to 1 by distance between them. You consider another example. Here this is one rod. This is 100 degree. This is 0 degree. Length is some 2 meter. And another is 100 degree, 0 degree, and its length is 1 meter. Then what about the rate of heat flow? In the first case, heat flow is comparatively less than this one, right? So if length is large, if distance between 2 points is large, then amount of heat flow is small. So that's why amount of heat flow is inversely proportional to the distance between them. Okay, combining these two, what happens? Combining these two, we get delta Q. Delta Q is the amount of heat flow which is proportional to delta U by delta X. Okay, what is the limiting case? Its limiting case is partial derivative of U with respect to X. That is called temperature gradient, right? So we have two observations. One is rate of heat flow is proportional to cross section area, and rate of heat flow is proportional to temperature gradient. So combining these two, we get the rate of heat flow is proportional to cross sectional area into gradient. To remove this proportionality sign, we use a proportionality constant. Therefore, the rate of heat flow is equal to this kappa is the proportionality sign, kappa times A into partial du by dx. Okay, and this kappa is called thermal conductivity. This kappa is called thermal conductivity of the material. This proportionality constant depends the material. Okay, and this negative sign indicates that heat flows in the direction of decreasing temperature. So that's why we put a minus sign. So the rate of heat flow is equal to minus some kappa times A into partial du by dx. This kappa depends the material. Okay. So we have to find the temperature uxt. Similar to the wave equation, this problem also involves two steps. The first step is we will form a partial differential equation which satisfies our temperature function uxt. Then by solving that PDE, we will get the solution. And this is the outline of step 1. We evaluate the heat energy retained in a small portion PQ in two different methods. Okay, here P denotes cross section at X and Q denotes cross section at X plus delta X. So PQ is the small portion of the rod with the length delta X. This length is delta X. So we have to find heat energy retained in the portion PQ in two different methods. First one is using Fourier law of conduction. That is, our heat flow is equal to minus kappa A into partial du by dx. And other is using specific heat, mc delta U. Here delta U is the temperature change and m is the mass, c is the specific heat of the material. Then by equating these two quantities, we will get our required partial differential equation, heat equation. Here Q1 stands for amount of heat energy flowing into the cross section P in time delta T. By Fourier law of conduction, rate of heat flow means heat flow per unit time. That is equal to, so this is the amount of heat flow through P in unit time. What is our Q1? Q1 is nothing. Q1 is amount of heat flow in time delta T. So this into delta T gives Q1. So that is Q1. And next one is Q2. Q2 is the amount of heat energy flowing out the cross section Q in time delta T. And similarly, Q2, gradient at X plus delta X at this point into delta T. So Q2 equal to like this. So Q1 is the heat flow into P, Q2 is the heat flow out of Q. So the amount of heat retained in the segment PQ in time delta T is Q1 minus Q2. That is this quantity. Here kappa and A are common, so you can take outside. And this minus minus become plus. So this expression become kappa A delta T into partial du by dx at X plus delta X minus partial du by dx at X. We denote this equation by 1. So this is the amount of heat energy retained in the segment PQ in time delta T. Next, we are going to calculate the same heat energy that is retained in the segment PQ in another method using specific heat. So here rho is the density of the material. Rho is throughout same because we consider homogeneous material. And C is the specific heat of this material. And what is specific heat? That is the amount of heat per unit mass required to rise the temperature by 1 degree Celsius. So the amount of heat required to rise the temperature of the element PQ by delta U. We have seen that this PQ is retained some heat energy. Due to that heat, there is a temperature difference in PQ. That temperature difference is delta U. Here delta U stands for the corresponding temperature change in PQ. Okay, so using specific heat, the amount of heat required to rise the temperature of the element PQ by delta U is mc delta U. Here delta U is the temperature change. M is the mass. Here our length of the segment is delta x and rho is the density. So we know that mass is equal to density into volume. And what is the volume? A is the cross-sectional area, delta is the length. So volume of the segment PQ is A into delta x, right? So here mass of this material PQ is rho A delta x. So this is our mass. That's why this is rho A delta x C delta U. We denote this by equation number 2. So now we calculate the same heat energy in two different methods. One is using Fourier law, other is using specific heat. So we can equate 1 and 2. By equating 1 and 2, we get like this. This is our equation number 2, this is our equation number 1. Okay. Here A is common, so you can cancel. Then just by rearranging, and we take delta T to left side and delta X to the right side. So what happened? This become rho C delta U by delta T. So right side become kappa into this difference divided by delta X. We have to find a relation involving temperature at X. To find the temperature at X, delta X should be very small. So next we assume that delta X is tends to 0. Also we have to find the instantaneous change. So we also assume that delta T also very small. So what about this expression? Whenever delta T is tends to 0, what about this one? This is rate of change of U with respect to T. That is partial du by dt. And similarly, if delta x is very small, if delta x is tends to 0, what about this one? Here numerator is the difference between partial derivative of u. So this is the derivative of partial du by dx. That is the second partial derivative of u with respect to x. Right. So this become partial d square u by dx square. Next we assume delta x tends to 0 and delta t tends to 0. Then that equation become partial du by dt equal to kappa by rho c into partial d square u by dx square. Here kappa, rho and c are positive. So this kappa by rho c is always positive. So we take this as some alpha square. So the one-dimensional heat equation is partial du by dt is equal to alpha square into partial d square u by dx square. And this constant, this alpha square, is called the diffusivity of the material. So as a conclusion, our temperature function uxt satisfies this heat equation. So in next session, we will solve this heat equation by method of separation of variables. Thank you.